Yep, let's bring it to the kitchen. Our very first one for this morning. Did you know that activities like cooking can assist people with ADHD? Did you know that? The best mashed potato recipe that's going to teach you something that you ever will make has a smooth, creamy consistency, and it's achieved with the use of dairy. But if lactose intolerance is a challenge for you, then we've got good news for you. Thanks to CLOVER No-Lac lactose-free range, we're showing you just how you too can enjoy dairy again with these creamy mashed potato cakes. They're stunning. You're going to love them. And here to help us make them is the good doctor, Michele Vansaki. Michele. Okay, so you're busy this morning, eh?
I'm busy, but I could.
Busy?
You know, that's my two favorite things in the world thrown together, so I'm not complaining about that. Cool.
So this is really fantastic because I think that a lot of people who suffer lactose intolerance often find themselves sort of stuck not knowing what they can eat, what they can't eat, or what variations to sort of add to their recipes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this product is really nice, especially in something like this where, you know, people would often think like, taking out the lactose is going to take from the flavor or the consistency or like, you know, that heartiness that often comes from things that people need to cut out of their diet.
Yeah.
So this is a really nice recipe just to showcase how well this product can play that role.
And I think it's a creative recipe as well. So take us through the ingredients. What have we got here?
Okay, so we have this very nicely prepared bowl of mash. Obviously, this would be the bulk of the time that you need to prepare this recipe.
Yeah.
What I'm going to be doing is just showing you how to throw together some flavor profiles. But, you know, you can, what I like to do is I like to roast my potatoes, peel them and mash them. You get a much drier consistency, which gives you a better outcome in terms of the cake.
In terms of the look and feel of it as well.
Of course, the consistency is just so much better, but you can also boil them and then take off the skin and mash them.
Great.
So what we're going to do, we have, I think this is about 4 large potatoes that we've roasted and mashed. We have 1 egg, so that's going to go in.
Going in.
And then it's about a tablespoon of butter, give or take how much of a diet you're on.
That's it.
But it always adds flavor and it adds beautiful depth to the
that
dish.
creaminess, the texture, that's what we're all about, right?
And the butter is always the heart and soul of the dish. So what I'd like to do is, you know, just first get that in a little bit before you start adding your flavor profiles.
Okay.
And you don't want to add the flour yet because you don't want to overwork that. So as soon as that's in, just give it a nice mix up until you have, you know, just the eggs nice and bound into the eggs.
Because you can tell when it's sort of like bound nicely, right?
Yeah, just a quick stir, you know, it's really not too much of an issue. Okay, so flavor profiles, really up to the discretion of what you like.
Yeah.
What we have always, very important, salt and pepper, obviously, season everything. We'll season to taste, we'll see if it's enough, but for now, just, you know, good amount of salt and pepper.
Good. And I know that you're an advocate of not too much salt. You always say not too much salt, everybody.
You can put in, but you can never take out. Continually tasting as you go is really important.
Yep.
Chopped chives gives a nice green appearance, you know, it makes them look really
chives.
beautiful. Spring onion, a little bit of that tanginess to the cut all through all the fat of the potato, and the butter. A little bit of oregano, a little bit of chopped garlic.
Ooh, yeah.
That goes in there.
Okay, that's flavor.
That's flavor.
Everything you've put in there so far screams flavor, flavor. Now, if you want to get your hands on this recipe, go on to expressoshow.com. On there, you're going to find for yourself a list of all of the ingredients we're making use of this morning, as well as a step-by-step guide on how to bring them all together, bring this recipe to life. But I can tell you this one is going to be a crowd pleaser of note.
Cool. So then the crux of tying this together, making it a hearty dish, we have a little bit of flour. All right, so that's going to go in there. So potatoes hold themselves together quite nicely, but in this case, you need this little bit of binding agent. Okay, just put a half a cup of that, and then
in goes
that's a
our
quarter
CLOVER No-Lac. Now, I'll tell you what, this CLOVER No-Lac has certainly caught my full attention. We know that if you experience symptoms such as, you know, stomach cramps, you've got eczema, for example, bloating, which is a big one, actually. If you're feeling nauseous after, you know, maybe eating dairy, you may be lactose intolerant. And I'll tell you this, I know this from personal experience. It does happen, and it's not fun. Now, the CLOVER No-Lac lactose-free range of milk does, you know, make it possible for you to enjoy dairy again. And like we said, it's a creative way, this, of eating and getting all of that flavor and all of those great recipes while still being lactose intolerant, which is really cool. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start preparing. Hold what do you call this? Our coating of those cakes as they come through,
actually,
right?
I mean, in this case, you don't have to do that too vigorously. You could put a little bit of spraying cook, anything like that. But that should be 100% fine. That's going to give it that nice golden brown appearance on the bottom.
Great. Okay, cool.
I just want to show you here something that's pretty cool about this recipe. When you put the flour in, you don't want to really whisk it too much. You just want to fold it in, you know, keep the lightness of the mashed eggs.
Okay.
And when you have this consistency that's smooth, there's no clumps, you've got your flavor profiles in, then you're ready for
Then you get it on here.
So what I'll do for you is...
Will you do it for me?
I can show you. So you actually put that in the tray first. If you have a tablespoon, I'm actually going to do that.
You can use this one there. Oh, yeah, you got one.
Fine. I've got one here. Then what you do, just to make
at
it
the good
beautiful,
doctor go.
You get that into your ramekin. Right, so this is purely for the aesthetic value. You could just do this with your hands.
Of course, if you didn't have one of these, yeah?
Beautiful. So then
Already
you have
looks
really
good.
beautiful. I mean, in my opinion, I'd probably do them a little flatter.
Yeah.
If you have a slightly bigger mold.
And if you had the time and all of that as well, right? And
Panko
then, of
breadcrumbs on top.
They go over it.
That gives that beautiful brown, nice
at that.
consistency. And there you have it.
And the oven goes how long for? About 20 minutes?
Probably 180, 200 degrees. Give it that nice golden brown appearance. Put it in the oven, and then you have beautiful.
Fabulous. So there you go. Go and be impressive. ExpressoShow.com. That's where you will get your hands on the recipe. All of the ingredients are there, as well as the recipe. Take photographs if you do make these and show us what it looks like in your own home. Thank you so much, Michele Bansagi.
Thank you for having me.
Doctor.
Cool.
Made with love by Clover.